Welcome, parents and guardians. The reason we have created this homework DVD series is because Kung Fu is ideally practiced daily, even just a little bit. Kung Fu means hard work, and it's based upon the principle of doing something a little bit each day and getting a little bit better, understanding a little more the more you do it. So, although your child will learn plenty, coming 2 to 3 times a week, if they reinforce that with even just a few minutes a night, with your supervision and with the help of this DVD, they will develop their Kung Fu much more quickly and gain much more benefit from their training at the Smiling Dragon Kung Fu Academy. And so we begin. Thank you. And now we will cover the requirements for 4th degree white sash testing for children. The first requirement for 4th degree white sash testing for children is going to be the first third of the Seal and Tao form, which is really the heart of the Wing Chun system. Almost every technique you need to be an accomplished Wing Chun practitioner is right there in that first form. And it's critically important because it trains the body to move and feel the way a Wing Chun practitioner wants to move and feel. We teach it in thirds because it's way too much even for the adults to teach it all at once. So this is the first third. And there's a lot of details, and there's always going to be a continuum of making it better and better and better over time. Even the adults need to be corrected and refined over time. So we're going to give the most basic rendition of the first third with enough details to maintain the integrity of the art, at the same time without overwhelming the child. It begins like this: feet together, hands packed. The hands come forward and up and turn as they come up. And when they pull them back, they're going to bend their knees simultaneously. Then the toes are going to come out as far as possible, and then the heels are going to come out as far as possible. The reason why it's important to bring the toes out as far as possible is because if you don't, when you bring your heels out, you don't have a wide enough stance. So they got to work on opening up the toes and opening up the heels so you end up at least as wide as your shoulders. And then with the hands packed, the hands open and come down and forward, left hand over right. You want your elbows to be away, you want your child's elbows to be away from their body by a thumb and a fist. So they're not doing this, they're coming forward. The elbow should be away from the body. And then from here, it turns up like this. The things to watch for is that the fingers are packed. And they're sitting in their root, they're not getting lazy and standing up, they're actually sinking into their root. And then they pull back. Now they're going to do a sun punch, as we've seen in chain punching. We begin with the left hand comes forward. It's not near their chest like this, it's actually a thumb and a fist away. We maintain that space. It's critically important to have that little bit of leeway, a little bit of room there for a whole bunch of very important martial reasons that we'll get into, but for now just know that they should not bring themselves close to themselves. It creates a lot of potential problems. So the left hand comes across and faces, points forward. The fist points forward, then the elbow will come behind it. So now this is lined up correctly like it's supposed to, lined up correctly, not like this or like that. It's going to come forward and extend all the way. Then the palm's going to come up, packed, and they're going to do this move. Inward, like that, Hun Sao, and pull it back. And the right fist comes to the center, away from the body. The elbow comes in behind it, because it's pointing forward, the elbow comes in behind it. And so it's lined up correctly, and then it comes all the way forward. Now as you come forward, there's a tendency to let the fist no longer be lined up like that, because you're trying to punch in the center. That's a mistake. It's more important to keep this lined up. So as they punch into the center, maintain the rule of keeping the fist, the forearm behind the fist like that. Palm comes up, hands are still packed. Hun Sao, and back. Now it's very important during all of this that the shoulders remain square. They don't start moving forward like this or like this. They're training their body to keep their shoulders square and have a very specific structure. So no matter what they're doing, as far as punching or anything like that, they don't do that. They keep the shoulders square. So a lot of things to think about. The last piece of the first third is the left hand opens up, fingers packed, the elbow comes into the center. In this part of Seal and Tao, it's parallel with the ground. Hun Sao, Wu Sao, comes back, but no closer than a thumb and a fist. We call this Fuk Sao, bends down. What's going to happen is I want them to bring their elbow in. Don't think of bringing their hand forward, although the hand will come forward. Think about bringing the elbow in because the hand will come forward naturally. This will be at a 45-degree angle down like that. The hand's relaxed. It's the arm doing the work. The elbow coming in is the important thing here. Then another Hun Sao, and back, not too close to the body. Fuk Sao, the elbow comes forward. Hun Sao, back. Coming back 3 times. The shoulders square. You're going to come across for a pak to the edge of the body, back to the center, palm strike to the chin, arms fully extended, palm up, Hun Sao, and back. And then the other arm. Hand opens up, it's packed, elbow comes in, parallel with the ground, Hun Sao, Wu Sao, don't come too close to the body, Fuk Sao, elbow in, that's back 1, Hun Sao, back 2, Fuk Sao, bring the elbow in, Hun Sao, back 3 times, not too close to the body, parking across, back to the center, heel palm to the chin, arm fully extended, palm up, Hun Sao, pull back. Very important, their legs should be bent, they should be sinking in the root. The left foot will slide to the right foot, and then the dragon palms come down as they rise and release the tension. Very quickly, I'm going to do it all one more time all together, without speaking. There you have it, the first third of the Silam Tau form. The next requirement for 4th degree white sash testing for children is going to be shifting with palm strikes. We've seen shifting before with our side horse, our dragon pose, shifting a little bit on the balls of the feet, not the heels. We're going to accentuate that a little more. They're going to shift just a little bit more, a little bit further, and they're going to add a palm strike to it. So starting from here, I'm going to shift in that direction because my Wu Sao is back here. I'm going to use my Wu Sao hand to strike. I'm going to be in a good root, pelvis tucked in, good Man Sao, good Wu Sao. I'm going to shift 45 degrees in that direction on the balls of my feet. I'm going to strike with a palm and make sure my Wu Sao stays up. Another important point to make is you have to keep your elbow in. When you shift, keep your elbow, they have to keep their elbow in because if they go around like this, they're using their shoulder and there's far less power there. It's also easier to block, and it doesn't penetrate. When you shift and keep your elbow in, you end up going straight out and penetrating, going straight out like a spear, and your whole body's behind it, using your whole body mechanic. So they have to keep their elbows in. So they're going to shift and make sure to protect themselves with their Wu Sao. Most people forget about the Wu Sao and drop it, and that's a big problem. So you're going to shift 45 degrees on the balls of your feet, not the heels. Make sure they're shifting on the balls of their feet, not the heels. And make sure they're keeping their Wu Sao up, and make sure they're keeping their elbow in, not out like that, in, so when they strike, they have the power of their whole body behind it. And that is palm strikes with shifting. The next requirement for 4th degree white sash testing for children is going to be running horse, sticking with running horse with relentless striking. So young Val will come in to assist. We've seen all these things before. Once again, we're putting it together now. Running horse, you're in a good forward position. They're going to step, replace, step, replace. We know this already. We're going to add strikes. They're going to step, replace. They're going to just start hitting, basically chain punching, but they can use their palms. It'll be easier for them. Hit, 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 hit. The point of this drill is In Wing Chun, we want to be close to our opponent. That's how we win. That's our advantage. That's how we practice, to getting close and have all the advantages. But he might not like that. He might want to pull back. Maybe he wants to make a room so he can throw a kick at, right? So what's very important here is that you can be in running horse. You're going to be, the child's going to be in running horse, close enough to hit the bag. Hit, 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 hit. You'll pull back for them, pull away from them. They got to use running horse to stay on top of you as quickly as possible. It's very important to point out, the way to do that is they're going to push off their back foot. Push off the back foot. So when it's step replace, it's push to step. Push to step. This gives them more power and more explosiveness forward. So what happens is, I'm hitting, he pulls back. I push up my back foot, I keep coming, and I keep coming, not allowing him to get the space he's trying to get to do a kick or anything else, and keeping me on top of him so that I can do what I need to do to end this fight as quickly as possible. And that is sticking. We call it sticking because you're sticking to him, not letting him get away. Sticking with running horse and relentless striking. And the last requirements for 4th degree white sash testing for children are all going to be physical, basically endurance and strength, and a showing of will. The first one's going to be 18 good, solid Wing Chun push-ups. Wing Chun push-ups need to be understood. Regular push-ups go like this and utilize the shoulder. We don't want to use the shoulder. We're encouraged use of the shoulder. We want to encourage the use of the whole body and strengthen the forearm. So the hands, they can use their palms. Traditionally, these are done with fists, but they can use their palms. They're children, it's fine. In front of the chest, not up like that, over the head, but in front of the chest, together in the center, not out here. It's the most important thing. So the hands go down right in front of the chest, not out like that. It's the important thing. In front of the chest, the body should be straight and off the ground. A lot of kids like to move their body instead of their arms. It doesn't work, and it will not be accepted. They have to be in the right position and bend their arms. 18 of these is not easy. So it's a real accomplishment, and the sooner they start practicing that, the better. The next requirement is going to be 50 punches. We've already covered chain punching, so all the same things apply, only the attention to detail is not going to be so tough with this, because we want them to punch quickly. We don't want them worrying about detail. So basically 25 punches on each arm. They're going to stand in a good position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if they don't go straight and don't do it perfectly, obviously we want them to do it as well as possible. But the main thing here is they're punching fast. Punch, 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 punch. 50 times, 25 in each arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Next thing is 18 kicks. Right now we're talking about just a straight kick. And they're going to do it from this position. So with the left Mansao and the right Wusao, they're going to kick 1, 2, 3, get the leg up high, kick with the heel, 4, nice fast kicks. They're going to do 18 with that leg, and they're going to switch hands, the other Mansao, and do 18 with that leg. And your Qigong, their Qigong is going to be looking for the details of how will they do that. The leg should come up, and when they kick with their heel. And this is strenuous and difficult, but also excellent training. And the last thing is going to be horse stance, which I'm sure that all of you have seen in class. The correct way of doing horse stance is the feet wide, wider than our medium stance, toes forward. The knees don't go in like in our medium stance, they go out. You want to have the back straight, the hands should go out like this, extending their shen, their will, out in front of them. And they have to keep their back straight. The trick here is when they sink into it, like they're sinking in a chair, they shouldn't go past their knees. That's just squatting. That's too easy, actually. Ideally, the thighs should be parallel with the ground. But the truth is that I want them to go as low as possible without leaning forward. If their thighs are parallel with the ground, but they're leaning forward, that's no good. It's more important their back is straight. So feet wide, toes pointing forward, knees out, not in. Hands out in front of them, not here, all the way out. And they're going to sink down as low as they can go without leaning forward. Keep their back straight. And they're going to be tested on how low they can go. They might not be able to do it. They might not be limber enough to do it. But what matters is they're going as low as they can, that they're pushing themselves, and that's what their signal will be looking for. That they're pushing themselves, and they're going to be required to go for a solid minute of a very good horse stance. And no sloppy horse stance will be accepted. So the more they practice their horse stance doing correctly, the more prepared they will be. And that's it. That's the last of the requirements for 4th degree white sash testing for children. Thank you.